fire. She swore she'd never trust a cowboy. Flushed face, until one of them refused to let her fall. Dust filled the air.
Dry.
Relentless. Ava Morgan hated places like this. Open land. No control. And especially, cowboys. Too arrogant. Too unpredictable.
Too used to getting their way.
People like that don't change, she once said. And she believed it. Until the day she met him. Colt Hayes. Quiet. Sharp. The kind of man who didn't try to impress. Because he didn't need to. Their first meeting wasn't smooth.
It was a mistake.
A wrong turn on a ranch road. A broken gate. And a horse that didn't like strangers. Ava stepped back quickly, but not fast enough. The horse snapped forward.
Wild.
Uncontrolled. Her heart jumped. And before she could react, a strong hand grabbed her arm, pulled her back instantly. Firm. Stay still. His voice.
Come.
Commanding. She looked up, right into his eyes. Colt. Closer than she expected. Too close. Let go, she said sharply. He didn't. Not immediately. Only when the horse settled. Then, he stepped back, like nothing happened. You shouldn't be here, he said simply. No apology. No explanation. That annoyed her instantly. I didn't ask for your help, she replied. Colt raised an eyebrow slightly. Didn't look like you had time to ask. That answer. Frustratingly calm. Frustratingly right. She crossed her arms. I can handle myself. A small pause. Then, out here, he said, not mocking, just honest. And that honesty hit differently, because she wasn't used to it. Days passed, but somehow, she kept running into him. Same land, same paths, same tension. You always this stubborn? He asked once. You always this controlling? She shot back. A flicker of something crossed his face. Not anger. Something else. Respect. You talk like you've already decided who I am, he said. I have, she replied. Cowboys don't change. Silence. Because this time, he didn't argue. He just looked at her, like he was waiting for something. Something she didn't understand yet. One evening, everything shifted. A storm rolled in fast. Wind. Dust. Visibility gone in seconds. Ava tried to get back, but the path disappeared. Completely. Her breath quickened. This wasn't control anymore. This was danger. Real danger. Then, a voice through the wind. Ava. She turned. Colt. Riding straight through the storm, like he knew exactly where she'd be. Get on, he said, reaching his hand out. She hesitated. Just for a second. Because this was the one thing she didn't do. Trust someone like him. But the storm didn't care about her rules. And neither did reality. She took his hand. Strong. Steady. And, in that moment, something changed. Not trust. Not yet. But doubt. Because maybe, just maybe, she didn't understand him as much as she thought. And maybe, he wasn't trying to control her. He was trying to protect her. And that difference was everything. The storm didn't stop quickly. It got worse. Wind howling. Dust everywhere. Ava held onto the saddle tightly, her grip firm, but not as steady as she wanted it to be. Colt didn't say much, just guided the horse, confident, like he'd done this 100 times. Where are we going? She shouted over the wind. My place, he replied. That answer didn't comfort her, but it was the only option. Minutes later, they reached a small cabin, isolated, safe from the storm. He helped her down. This time, she didn't pull away instantly. Not because she trusted him, but because she needed the balance. Inside, warmth, silence, a sharp contrast to the chaos outside. You can stay until it clears, Colt said. Simple. No pressure. No expectation. That surprised her. She looked around. Minimal. Clean. Nothing unnecessary. Just like him. You do this often? She asked. Save people who don't like me? A slight pause. Then, no. That answer made her almost smile. Almost. Hours passed. The storm didn't move, which meant one thing. She wasn't leaving anytime soon. Forced closeness. The one thing she avoided, especially with someone like him. Colt sat across the room, not staring, not talking, just present. And somehow, that was more intense than anything else. "You're not what I expected," he said suddenly. She looked up. "What did you expect?" "A girl who hates cowboys," he replied. A pause. "Not someone who keeps coming back." That hit, because she had noticed it too. The repeated encounters. The way she didn't avoid him as much as she should have. "I don't come back," she said. Colt tilted his head slightly. "You didn't leave either." Silence. Because this time, she didn't have a quick answer. The wind outside softened slightly, but not enough. Still trapped. Still together. Ava leaned back, arms crossed, trying to keep distance, even when there wasn't much space to begin with. "You think you understand me?" she asked. Colt shook his head once. "No." That answer caught her off guard. "I think you decided who I am before I said a word." Another pause. "And I'm waiting to see if you'll change your mind." His voice wasn't forceful, just steady, confident, like he didn't need to convince her. That made it harder, because she was used to people trying, pushing, proving. But he didn't. He just existed, and let her see it. Later that night, the fire burned low, the room dim, quiet, too quiet. Ava shifted slightly, uncomfortable, not physically, but mentally, because the tension wasn't going away. It was building, slowly. "You don't trust easily," Colt said quietly. She didn't look at him. "No." A pause. "Especially not cowboys." A faint hint of something in his voice. Not annoyance. Something closer to understanding. "You've got a reason?" he asked. That question was different. Not curiosity, not judgment, just real. She hesitated, for the first time, because no one had asked like that before. "I don't trust people who think they can take control of everything," she said finally. Her voice quieter now, more honest. Colt looked at her, longer this time, then said, "Good." She frowned slightly. "Good." He nodded once. "Because I don't want control." A pause. "I want respect." That line landed differently, because it didn't match what she believed, didn't match what she expected, and that created something new. Doubt. Again, but stronger this time. The storm finally began to fade. Slowly, the wind easing, the silence returning. Morning wasn't far, which meant she'd be leaving soon, back to her world, away from him, away from this tension. But for some reason, that thought didn't feel as simple anymore, because somewhere between the storm, the silence, and the truth he didn't try to force, something had shifted, and she didn't know what to do with it yet. Morning came quietly. The storm was gone, but something else remained. The tension, unspoken, real. Ava stepped outside. The desert looked different now. Calm, clear, like nothing had happened. But inside her, everything had changed. Colt was already awake, fixing the fence nearby, focused, like the storm didn't matter, like nothing ever distracted him. "You do this alone?" she asked, walking closer. He didn't look up immediately. "Most things," he replied. Simple. But that answer carried weight, because it didn't sound like a choice. It sounded like a habit. "Why?" she asked. This time, he paused, just for a second, then continued working. Less complicated. That wasn't the full truth. She could feel it. "You don't seem like someone who avoids people," she said. Colt gave a faint, almost invisible smile. "People don't always stay." That line wasn't casual. It was personal. And for the first time, she saw it. Not the cowboy, not the confidence, but the man underneath. Quiet, guarded, not controlling, careful, because he'd learned something the hard way. And suddenly, her assumptions didn't feel so strong anymore. Later, they walked side by side, back toward the main road. No tension this time, just silence, but a different kind, comfortable, real. "You're not what I thought," Ava admitted quietly. Colt glanced at her. "Yeah." She nodded slightly. "I thought you'd try to control everything." A pause. "But you didn't." He looked ahead again. I don't need to. Simple words. But they meant everything, because control wasn't strength. And for the first time, she understood that. Fire, when your heart changes, do you follow it or protect your pride? Speech balloon comment. Heart or pride? The road was finally in sight. Her way out. Her world. Everything she knew. Ava stopped walking. This was it. The moment she would leave. And forget all of this. Or at least,
Try to.
you're good from here, Colt said. No hesitation. No attempt to stop her. And that was the difference. He didn't hold her back. Didn't make her stay. He gave her the choice. Fully. Ava looked at him. Really looked this time. Not as a cowboy. Not as a stranger. But as someone she finally understood. You always let people go that easily? She asked softly. Colt shrugged slightly. If they want to leave, yeah. That answer hit deeper than she expected, because it wasn't indifference.
It was respect.
Something she didn't expect from him. Something she didn't expect to feel. Her heart was louder now. Faster. Conflicted. Because walking away was easy. Safe. Familiar. But staying meant letting go of everything she believed. About him. About herself. A step forward, toward the road. Then she stopped. Closed her eyes briefly. Took a breath. Then turned back. Colt hadn't moved. Hadn't expected anything. Which made it even more real. I don't hate cowboys, she said quietly. A faint smile touched his face. That's so. She nodded. Just the wrong ones. A pause. Then, she stepped closer. Not forced. Not rushed. Her choice. And that's what made it different. Because this time, no one was taking anything. No one was claiming anything. It was mutual. Earned. Real. The desert stretched behind them. Wide. Endless. But for the first time, it didn't feel empty. It felt like a beginning.